Hello everybody. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to see if your Texas rent relief has been approved and the steps that the landlord must take to get paid. If the steps are not taken, the relief could possibly be wasted. A few weeks ago, I did a video on the Texas rent relief program, and since that time, the eviction moratorium for most cities across the USA have been extended to October. You have to be in a city that has a high rate of COVID cases to be eligible for the extension. If you have not filed for the Texas rent relief, you need to hurry up as there is still time, but the money is being given out and you don't want to wait too long when the funds have all been given out. So y'all, I have some really good news that I have been hearing from tenants that they are finally starting to get approved. So for that reason, I want to walk you through how you can check to see if your application is in process and if the payment is on the way. Also, there are a few steps your landlord will need to take in order for rent relief to be paid out. First, the landlord must reply when Texas rent relief contacts them. They may be contacted by phone or email that you provided. Reach out to your landlord and let them know that you have applied and tell them to be on the lookout for a phone call or an email. After the landlord is contacted and agrees with the program, they will need to fill out their portion of the application. You may have to help them along in some cases, just like you had to provide certain documentation. The landlord will need to provide documentation as well. Texas rent relief may reach back out to you as well to make sure that you have not been evicted before proceeding further. If you have already been evicted, then it is too late. They will not offer you rent relief and the application will be denied. That's why it's in the best interest of the landlord to work with you. So let's say the landlord has now filled out everything and submitted their contract. Next comes processing. Let's hope that it gets approved quickly. You can check in your account at the website and see what stage your application is at. Just go over here to texasrentrelief.com. You're going to want to click on the button that says log in, and then you're going to want to continue to application, and that will take you right here. You're going to log back in. Now, once you've logged back in, you can see what stage your application is at. It could be one of these 5 stages right here. The first one would say application in progress, which means it's incomplete and you did not hit submit. Number 2, it could show that your application has been submitted, complete and in line for review. The next stage, it will say under review. So they are looking at it. They've checked for eligibility and they will be asked for missing documents or information if needed. The next one is payment in progress. That's really good news. That means that they approved the amount and it is confirmed. The payment created via direct deposit or check. And the final stage, it'll say disbursed, and under action being taken, it'll either have been dispersed to the landlord, to the utility vendor if you had requested utilities, or to the tenant if the landlord did not participate and fill out their form for receiving payment. Even though the tenant gets the payment, they have to give it to the landlord. Now I want to show you the steps the landlord must take in order to get paid. If after several contacts they don't respond, then the payment can go to the tenant, who must then pay the landlord. But just remember, there are stiff fines and possible penalties, and even prosecution can happen if a tenant receives the money and does not use it to pay the landlord the back rent. The best scenario is for the rent to go directly to the landlord. So here is a guide with the payment guide. Rent assistance payments from the Texas Rent Relief Program will be made directly to the tenant's landlord unless the landlord either declines to participate or has not responded after program outreaches several times. So the current policy is that the program will contact the landlord at least 3 times in 10 days by email, phone, or text, or 14 days if notified by regular mail. But if they're unable to engage the landlord, then the payment will be made directly to the tenant. and the Texas Rent Relief Program requires the direct rent assistance payments to tenants are used to pay the landlords. However, this is challenging to enforce, but we encourage you strongly to get your landlords to participate. So, about bil.com, bil.com. To ensure timely processing of payment on approved applications, landlords and tenants can submit their ACH deposit information ahead of time using the third-party payment system called bil.com. Bil.com is completely free to you. During and after account setup, your information will be secured, protected with end-to-end encryption, and it is not visible to the Texas Rent Relief Program. All invoice details will be available online in your account for future reference. If you have any questions about the process, you can call this phone number right here. Now, instructions for accepting payments via bil.com. The landlords who submit an application through the Texas Rent Relief Program online application will and should receive an email from invites@hq.bil.com with the subject line, quote, Texas Rent Relief Program, submit your payment information, end of quotes. The email will look like this and includes an invitation link at the bottom. So this is what the invitation looks like. It says, expedite your Texas Relief Program application. Thank you for submitting your information for TXRRP assistance. To ensure we can process payment quickly once an application is approved, please use the secure invitation link below and follow the instructions to submit your ACH deposit information. Please note all applications are reviewed and verified for eligibility. Approval for payment depends on submission of all required documentation, tenant eligibility, and funding availability. So basically they can do this before they're even approved, but this is the email that they will receive explaining it. Bil.com is completely free. During and after account setup, your information will be secure, protected with end-to-end encryption, and not visible to Texas RRP. All invoice details will be available online in your account for future reference, and then it has the phone number, and then accept the invitation and then go forward. So, what if you haven't received the bil.com invite or the landlord hasn't? You need to monitor the application status on the online system, and then once the status shows payment in process, you need to ensure that your billing information is set up. If you have checked your spam or junk folders and have not received a bil.com invite, then you need to reach out to support@texasrentrelief.com for assistance. Okay, so now we're going to watch a short video on how you can go back and look at your application and the status. And let's roll.
Accessing and completing your existing application. At any time, you can edit your application and check your application status. On the home page, you'll see a box that says View Continue an Existing Application. Any applications you've started will be listed here. To add information or documents or complete and submit an application, click the View Edit link on the right. You can click any section of the application to make changes. If you need to add documents, you can upload them as well. Once you've entered all of your information and added the required documents, you can submit your application for review. If anything is missing, we'll be in touch to let you know. After you've submitted your application, you'll see the review status listed here.
Thank you for watching. If you know someone that is struggling to pay rent and think this video would help them, please share it with others. If you like the video, it will also help spread the word. My only goal here is to help struggling tenants get rent relief so they will not be evicted. So if you would, please comment below with any questions or suggestions for future videos. Have a wonderful evening. This is Margie Kaplan signing out. Until next time. Bye-bye now.